Here are 21 Demon Slayer secrets you definitely didn't know, beginning with this weird detail about Tanjiro's hands. At the beginning of the show, Tanjiro was so weak my grandma could have beaten him in a fight. And this didn't change until he went through his Demon Slayer training. Here are his hands before training, and here they are after his training. A tiny detail that nobody noticed. And it's not that surprising that Tanjiro went so hard on his training, cause, well, he's got nothing else to do. His family's dead. But his dead family actually made a secret cameo. See, during the Mugen Train movie, a random kid enters Tanjiro's subconscious using his dark demon arts. Once inside, the kid meets these 6 flames that guide him around. Most people thought the flames were a reference to Tanjiro's sun-breathing abilities. No. The flames represent Tanjiro's family, his mother, 4 younger siblings, and Nezuko. And speaking of Nezuko, did you know she's actually won a world record? Think about it. She's a demon who joined the Demon Slayer Corps. Here's a recreation of how this happened. Yo, is it cool if my sister joins the Corps? Of course! She's a demon. But, Nezuko isn't the only one setting records, because Demon Slayer has set tons of them too, with fight scenes like this. And this.
Get it out! Get off me, you brats!
I'm not surprised that Demon Slayer has taken home so many awards. And because of that quality, you'd think the animation costs a fortune. But I did the math, and their budget comes down to around $80,000 per episode. And that's not actually a ton of money. Dragon Ball's budget is double, and their episodes still look bad. What would happen if you crossed Demon Slayer's beautiful animation with one of the most popular games in the world? Well, you'd get Raid Shadow Legends, today's sponsor. Raid has put a lot of work into its characters, and today I want to talk about my favorite power couples. First, we gotta talk about Karuto and Yumiko. Separately, they're really strong, but together, they're able to deal an unreal amount of damage. Second, we have Manaya and Koronar. They definitely don't look like they should be a match, but their pair-up reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, so I have to include them on this list. And third, we have Astrolon and Countess Lix. This power couple is my favorite just because of how cool they are. Look at their outfits. They were designed to be together. And speaking of true love, new players can win in-game and real-life prizes by playing Raid's special Valentine's Day themed adventure called Raid Love Quest. All you have to do is download Raid Shadow Legends from the link below, copy your in-game player ID, and then head to raidlovequest.plarium.com. This website also has a special promo code for existing Raid players that redeems a small Valentine's Day gift for you. After that, new players can enter their player ID and set out on a heartfelt quest lasting from February 14th to March 14th. And if you win the mini-games, you can earn Valentine's Day themed Raid champions and even Amazon gift cards worth up to $1,000. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen. You'll get unique bonuses worth $30, including free Epic Champion Chonaru and other useful stuff. But Demon Slayer was definitely saving up money, because in 2020, they spent $16 million on their first movie. And this movie made so much money, it broke records. The previous record was $395 million earned by Spirited Away, a 2001 movie. But Demon Slayer walked right in and obliterated them, because they smashed the record, earning over $500 million. And it doesn't stop there, because they set a record in a whole nother category. In 2020, Demon Slayer became the top-selling manga, beating One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen with over 150 million copies in a single year. That's the equivalent to 50 billion yen, or around $385 million. But even those millions couldn't stop them from making the worst mistake in anime history. See, going back to 2016 when Demon Slayer was first blowing up, there was a huge mystery surrounding Inosuke's face reveal, because up till that point, nobody knew what he looked like, and you can bet there was a ton of hype behind it. But by accident, the face reveal got ruined. See, Demon Slayer released a mini-comic at the end of one of their volumes, and it was just supposed to be a goofy story, but the editor accidentally showed Inosuke's face months before it would be revealed in the manga. People got so angry that Demon Slayer's author was forced to release an official apology about the whole situation. I made a mistake by showing Inosuke's face in a comic strip. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize. I'm under strict time constraints, and so I make mistakes. I'll be working as hard as I can, so I hope you'll stick with me. Now, you can't can't fix Inosuke's ruined face reveal, but luckily he's got tons of other secrets. Like, did you know Inosuke shares a voice actor with the main character from Sword Art Online? And actually make that 2 voice actors, since they have the same voice in both Japanese and English. Which is crazy since the characters are so different. In fact, their only similarity is that they both dual-wield swords. But this thing makes their dual wielding look like a kid's toy because it wields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different swords. And the secret behind it is kinda crazy. This thing's name is Yoriichi Type 0, and it's made to copy the fighting style of the legendary Demon Slayer. The thing is, Yoriichi was such a beast that 2 arms wouldn't be enough to copy his moves, even for a machine. So they added 4 more arms, and the battle doll still isn't even half as strong as Yoriichi. Yeah, Yoriichi's a beast, but so is the creator of Demon Slayer. And despite having invented the most popular manga in the world, the only thing we know about them is their name, Gotage. But this didn't stop them from making history, because they made the list of the Time 100's most influential people. Gotage is the only anonymous person and the only mangaka to ever make this list. Now, if there was a list for the scariest characters in Demon Slayer, Inosuke would probably insist on being at the top. And I'm saying this because I discovered one of his deepest, darkest secrets. See, while I was going through a chapter released back in 2019, I realized this is what Inosuke looks like, but he thinks he looks like this? Check this dude out. No wonder he's always yelling at people. But learning all these secrets made me start asking questions. Demons are always chomping down on humans, so what if the opposite happened? Well, I found the answer in the manga, and it turns out there's only one person in the show that's capable of having a demon snack, Genya. The manga explains that he's the only person with a strong enough jaw and immune system to eat a demon. So if another person tried to eat a demon, they would break their jaw. And even if they could somehow chomp it up, it would end up destroying their internal organs. I think I'll pass on that one. But there's another even smaller, hidden, teeny detail that I noticed in the manga. See, after Rengoku's death, the hilt of his sword is given to Tanjiro, and you can see it on Tanjiro's sword in chapter 129. But what's very odd is that if you compare that hilt to Rengoku's way back when he was still alive, you'll notice that Tanjiro has the hilt on backwards. The flames on his sword face away from the opponent, while the flames on Rengoku's face towards the opponent. Now, Demon Slayer's author hasn't revealed why, but my theory is that it symbolizes Tanjiro's different fighting style. He doesn't use flame breathing, he uses sun breathing. But there's one mystery that I have solved: Demon Slayer's blue spider lily. See, the lily has the power to turn humans into demons, but nobody's been able to find it. After doing some research, I found out that it's actually based on a real-life plant. The plant is actually a red spider lily, which represents death in Japanese culture. But in Demon Slayer, the blue spider lilies were what saved Muzan from dying. Talk about a plot twist! Have you ever wondered how the ranks in the Demon Slayer Corps work? Most people probably forget, but there are 11 ranks, the lowest being Mizunoto, and the highest being Hashira. If you want to move up through the ranks, you have to complete missions and kill demons. And to become a Hashira, you either have to kill 50 demons or 1 demon moon. Now, all these slayers are using concentration breathing, but did you know it was actually inspired by a real-life medical technique called box breathing? Here's how it works. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold that breath for another 4 seconds, breathe out over 4 seconds, and then hold your empty lungs for at least 4 seconds. This technique gets your lungs tons of oxygen, helping you focus and relieve stress. It's so effective that even the military uses it. This is Funko Pop, and this is a Demon Slayer Funko Pop. And if you collect every single Demon Slayer figure, you would notice that some of them are special. The Funko Pops for Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu all come with a special face on the inner tab of the box, which most people never find because they leave the figure in the box. Now, one of the most hidden secrets took place before the manga was even created. See, back in 2013, Gotage hadn't even come up with Demon Slayer and was instead working on another manga called Kagari Gari. Gotage didn't know it, but that manga was just a rough draft of Demon Slayer. See, the original manga had 2 critical elements. The first was Kagari Gari's main character. He kinda looks like Tanjiro, but that's where the similarities ended. This guy was super edgy, and a lot of fans hated that. So Gotage learned from this mistake and realized a wholesome character would be much more popular. The second element was even more important: a rough draft of Muzan, the guy who started Tanjiro's journey in the first place. Just 2 pages in, you can see his early design. He's dressed the exact same way and was even named Muzan back then. It's crazy that 3 years before Demon Slayer was written, Gotage had already created the main antagonist. Let's fast forward to 2019, because when Demon Slayer was transitioning into an anime, the production team secretly made a controversial controversial change. And they did this because there was one thing about the manga that they didn't like: the narration. See, these extra panels share important information from a narrator's POV, but the production team didn't want to include a narrator since it would feel out of place in the anime. So they removed the extra panels, and in the process, lots of important details. The best example of this lost information is the demons meeting in season 1. In the anime, we learn that Muzan can read the minds of his demons, but 3 other pieces of information were deleted and only shown in the manga. First, everything that the demons see or hear is sent back to Muzan. That's why he can read the demons' thoughts. Second, Muzan can also share his memories with demons. Third, Muzan can track the locations of his demons, but 3 of them have been able to break this curse: Tamayo, Yushiro, and Nezuko. Sadly, Rengoku hasn't been able to break his curse that affects his entire bloodline. This ridiculous hair that's been passed down through the generations. Rengoku claims that it's because his ancestors ate a lot of shrimp tempura, but I'm not too sure about that one, because the moms in the Rengoku family do some crazy things. Whenever a woman in the family is pregnant, they spend 2 hours staring directly at a flaming torch every week. This would explain why everyone in Rengoku's family is so good at flame breathing. Muichiro hasn't been as lucky with his family. While Rengoku's ancestors just ate a ton of shrimp, Muichiro's ancestor was Kokushibo, the first demon moon. Definitely not something he's very proud of. But Muichiro isn't the only Hashira with a connection to one of the demon moons, because Shinobu's relationship with a certain demon is personal. And that's because this guy killed her older sister. Literally, her whole reason for being a demon slayer is to kill Doma. She's a lot like Gyomei in that way, because Gyomei got done dirty by one of the demon moons. See, he used to run an orphanage until one of the kids invited a demon over. That kid ended up becoming the demon moon Kaigaku. Man, Gyomei's whole life got turned upside down by one dumb kid. But I get the feeling that Demon Slayer's author hates the demons, because she treats them so badly. See, Demon Slayer has 23 manga volumes, which all show a different character on their covers. Out of 23, only 2 feature a villain, and both times it's Muzan. I get that he's the main antagonist, but dang, I feel bad for the demon moons. Not getting featured on the front page kinda blows. But there's one more secret that I found in the manga, and it might be the craziest yet. If you go to chapter 69, there's a scene where Tanjiro is crying and he says, "Watch the next video, please, it's for my sister." Woo-woo.